Hey YouTube, it's your girl Leah back again with another video, and today's video is another foundation review Friday. And today's foundation, as you could see from me just weirdly waving these in the air, is the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. Now, if you're not familiar with my foundation review series, I come on here after testing out a foundation for an entire week, Monday through Friday. So these aren't first impressions, these are me having tested out the product. On Friday, I type up all my notes on the foundation on my handy dandy. I'm old-fashioned. I could write it down, but I like typing it out too because I want to bring you guys what I've noticed with the foundation. I give you what the site says, and then I give you what I have experienced over my week of wear. I test it out with different primers, different applicators, and all of that, so I can bring you the most, I guess, up-to-date information or what works for me. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with me, I have dry skin, so you're probably like, why are you trying the Pro Matte Foundation then? That makes no sense. And in my Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation review, people were like, well, I'm a dry girl, and surprisingly enough, I love matte foundations. And I was like, there are people out there who are dry girls and they like matte foundations? What? So I was like, let me give them an opportunity, or let me try a foundation that is a quote-unquote matte foundation, which isn't really geared towards us dry skin people, and let them know my impression of it as a dry girl, a very dry girl at that. And without further ado, let's get into my review of the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Foundation. Now, if you guys see me look down at any point throughout this, you guys know I take my notes on these foundations, and it's just me reading off the notes. So the L'Oreal Pro Matte is $12 at Ulta. There are 12 shades. I have the shade in my hand, 108 Caramel Beige and 109 Classic Tan. There are two shades darker than 109, I believe. At the time of me recording, there appear to be two shades darker on the site. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I know there's cocoa out there, so there may be 3 shades darker. It may go to 112, but I think on the site I only saw it go up to 111. Now, the site says L'Oreal's Infallible Pro Matte 24-hour foundation has an air-light texture with a demi-matte finish. It is medium coverage, and on the back it kind of runs you down, so it has finish. Is it matte, demi-matte, or Lumi? This one says it is demi-matte. Is it 12 hours, 16 hours, or 24 hours? It is 24 hours. It is medium coverage. So it gives you all this texture. It is air light. So it gives you all this on the back. I'll let you guys know some of these claims I don't really agree with, but I'll let them have it. So with me being a dry skin girl, you guys know I love to apply my foundations with a primer. If I'm applying the mattifying foundation, I definitely want to try a very luminous primer. So you guys know, if you saw my primer collection video, you guys know this is my all hands down foundation. I love the NYX Honey Do Me Up. For me being a dry skin, and especially me trying a foundation that's already going to make my skin matte, I'm definitely going to use this primer today. I'm going to apply it half my face with one applicator, half with the other, so I won't have any surprises on camera where it's like, wait, is the brush better? So I'm going to apply it with both of these. I'm going to go ahead first and color correct. So I have gone ahead and color corrected, so don't mind the weird orangeness that's going on right now. As you saw, I have two shades, 108 Caramel Beige and 109 Classic Tan. Now I have two, and I use both because one isn't my like absolute shade. So this is what 108 looks like. So I'll put like 2 dots of that. That's a little bit lighter. I mean, a little bit lighter. It is the lighter of the two. Then I'll take one part 109, which is the darker of the two, and it also has more of a redder tone. It's not like it's getting towards red. It's not red yet, whereas 108 is strictly yellow. If you guys can see on the inside of that, 108 of course is the bigger one, and it's the more yellow one, whereas 109 is darker, but it's trying to get a hint of like the orange. Go on this side with the brush. Maybe I need to get a little bit more. I mean, it's matching my neck, but maybe I need to get a little. We'll play this by ear, but let's say maybe we gotta get a little bit more of 109. Ooh, it is hecka yellow, honey. Okay, so this is how it looks. Super yellow, so I'm gonna go in with some more of 109, honey, because I am a little darker than I thought. So now that I'm done, don't mind how red I am. I have to, like, I can't put foundation up here. It just overly creases my concealer. So I think what I've learned in applying this on camera right now, that I need half 108, half 109 to come up with my perfect shade match that you're seeing right now. With the application of it, you have to work very fast with this product because it wants to dry very fast. I think with the brush side, you're going to get a fuller coverage. With the beauty blender side, with most things, you're going to get more of a sheer coverage with it, and you're going to end up using a little bit more product. So with this product being a thicker product like it is, if you want to use a brush for a more fuller, it's fuller but still medium, a fuller medium coverage, and then a more sheer kind of a coverage, you use the beauty blender sponge. With me, I prefer a more sheer looking coverage, so I'm gonna always probably prefer my beauty blender. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead, apply the rest of my makeup, and come back and show you guys how it looks. So now I have gone ahead and applied the rest of my face, and just initially off bat, I would have to say this foundation, if you're a dry skin person, you have to realize that this foundation is very, very much so matte. I do not give it that demi matte finish. I will say that to the day. It may be demi matte on some, but if you are a dry skin person, it is one step above matte. It's super, super matte. I do not set any of my foundations, whether it's a matte, dewy, any kind of foundation at all, being a dry skin person, with powder. But I would have to say, if I can get close up in the camera, extremely powdery, and it might not pick up in real life, and it might not pick up initially. I hope when I come back for my end of day thought, it picks up, because that's when I really notice how powdery it is when I'm about to take this foundation off. That's what I've noticed throughout this week. Right before I'm taking this foundation off, it's like, whoop, what's going on, girl? Why is all that powder on your face? So yes, I have to say though, on camera though, it's showing up beautifully. Like, it's showing up magnificently. I think my perfect combination is half 108, half 109, like I said. So if you're anywhere close to me, and if you guys aren't familiar with my series, I leave every shade in the foundation review series that I've tried so far down below. So every foundation that I've tried on this series, I have my shade match on there, or what I've tried in the video and what works best kind of for me. So check the description box if you're like trying to gauge, okay, what am I, what would I be, what do I need type of a thing. But I think 100% 108, 109, half and half. I think if you get a little bit darker in the summer, it's perfect to have both of them, because if you do get a little bit darker in the summer, you have that 109. If you get a little bit lighter in the winter, you have that 108 kind of a thing. And if, you know, 108.5 is what I'm going to call my shade combination, is what you are, you know, during the majority of times, then that's what kind of works best for you. So I'm going to go on about the rest of my day, and then I will come back later on and share with you guys my final kind of thoughts on this foundation after I've worn it for several hours. Right now it is 10 o'clock in the morning, so I should be back and coming on here with my final probably around 8 p.m. So see you then. So now I am back. It is now 6 o'clock. And so it's been about 7, 8 almost hours with this foundation on, and this is how it looks when you get up in the camera. Now, if you guys can notice, and don't mind my lips, I haven't reapplied anything, nor have I taken off what was already on, because I wanted the whole look to be the same. Part of me was debating, like, should I reapply my lipstick? I was like, no. Let them see how everything lasted on me for 8 hours. Now, one thing I noticed is my smile lines the makeup has settled into it, which I assumed, and I knew all week that that's what it did, but I assumed even before I tested it out this week that it was going to do that, because this is a matte foundation. Matte foundations do tend, other than some of the Maybelline matte foundations, do tend to kind of settle into my smile lines, which it's to be expected. This is a very, very much so mattifying foundation. As far as the finish, it says demi matte. For me, like I said, I think on an oilier skin person it'll be matte. I don't see it being demi matte at all. Oilier skin, I think it's going to be matte. Dry skin like me, it's going to be super matte. on me, if you get close up to me and if you could see like right into my face, it has a very powdery look about it. For this to be a liquid foundation on a dry skin person, and maybe even on an oily to normal person, it leaves a very, very powdery finish. It looks like I swiped powder all over my face. I could not tell people that this was a liquid foundation if they didn't see me applying it and not say, "Are you sure you didn't put any? You didn't set it. You didn't set it with powder. You didn't. Okay, so it's a liquid foundation." They would be very shocked. So it definitely has a very much so powdery look about it, and it gives it that super matte finish that I said. Wears up to time. In my wearing it for this week, I've been able to wear it my complete and total work day. So I get to work at 9 o'clock in the morning, but I probably apply my makeup a little bit from like 8 to 8:30, and then I come home and I usually take my makeup off around 6:30. So I usually have my makeup on for almost 10 to 12 hours depending on what I do after work. So I notice throughout the week it does have that long wearing factor to it. I think it's incredible if you're a normal combination person who's looking for something long wearing that you can wear throughout the day. Now, in terms of being an oily skin person, I can't speak on how often you're gonna have to touch it up. I've seen some oily skin people review it, and for them it differed dramatically throughout. Some had to blot, some didn't need to blot, some could powder. So I think with oily skin, people's skin has a varying level of being oily, and so I can't tell you how long it's going to really last on you guys. But if you're a dry to normal skin person, I think it could last you the entire day. Like, no one should wear their makeup for 24 hours, but I think if you're going to wear your makeup for upwards of 12 hours, you're looking for an all-day foundation. It's something that's going to look incredible, because my makeup still, all of it still holds on. My highlight is always the first to go. This blush is one of my favorite blush. Can you even see the blush anymore? Maybe the blush is really kind of on that side. Highlight is on that side a little bit better, but the foundation creates a good canvas for the makeup to stay on. So I'd say if you're looking for all day, this is very much so incredible for that. Coverage, like I said, it's very medium. I think it's buildable to full if you give it that opportunity. This foundation could be all the way to very sheer to medium, all the way up to medium to full, just depending on what kind of a hand you use. With me, I used a lot of squirts today. Just because I was trying to beef up the fact that I did not use the correct color the first time. And then texture, is it air light? With as much as I have on right now, I'd say it's not the lightest foundation that I've ever tried before, but it definitely has a lightness to it. So my pros with this foundation, I think it photographs and looks beautifully on camera. That's something I really love, is how it blends well with my skin. I was outside a lot today, so I think I got a little bit even darker on this arm. It's like so weird when this is my driving arm. You know how your driving arm is always in the mirror, and so it's always the darker, and then you have that light side. It's weird. But with the rest of my skin, as opposed to what's going on with this texture, I think it blends well. So if you saw me in person, it looks like I have a lot of makeup on. If you see me take pictures or anything like that, I think it's an incredible on picture camera quality. I think pros so far, it looks incredible on camera. I think the shade match, if you combine both shades, is beautiful. I'm so used to picking up one foundation. My last couple of foundation reviews, I could pick up one foundation and that one foundation work. In terms of this, that's not the case. I love that I can wear this all day. I love a long wearing foundation. Granted, I don't like a long wearing matte foundation, but I do think I love a foundation that I look the same when I put it on in the morning as I do when I take it off at night. That's something I look forward to in a foundation. My cons with this foundation, though, I think it's very difficult to blend. Not difficult, but you have to work fast to blend it out. And as soon as you blend it out on me, you have a minute or two where your face kind of looks very like a natural finish, and then give it a little bit more time, that matteness comes out. I'm not a fan of being super matte because I'm a dry skin person. It just makes my skin look super dry. Now, I'm not dry to the fact that I have dry patches, but I hear people who do have dry patches, this will cling to those dry patches. It will be like, I'm part of the dry patch family. So that's one thing you need to keep an eye on. I think I don't like settling into my fine lines. I know with a matte foundation that's to be expected with my skin type, that my fine lines will be exaggerated or be highlighted, but that's a con to me. I just don't like that. For me though, I think if I had to prefer a matte foundation for a dry skin girl, I would say I love the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless more than I do this. So I know if you're a dry skin person out there who still likes a matte finish, I think go with the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless, just because it's going to look very flawless. It's going to look good. It's going to be air light. It's going to be easy to blend. It's going to be, if you're my shade, you're going to find a shade. I think 330 Toffee Caramel was my shade in Maybelline Fit Me. You're going to find one shade that works perfect for you under $10. That's what you're looking for. If you're an oily skin person, get this foundation here. Don't question it. Go get it. I hope this video was enjoyable. I hope you guys are enjoying my foundation review series. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow me on Instagram at Lavon89. Make sure you follow me on Snapchat at MissLeah89. Make sure, if you want to make it easy on yourself to subscribe to me, click my face right here. Make sure you click a playlist of every foundation that I reviewed in this foundation review series over to the side as well. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.